Welcome into Philadelphia Walks PTSD. My name is Sharon Cole, or Sharon or Cole, whatever you want to call me in a good way. I don't care. Today is day 81 of my 365-day campaign, my one video each day, 365-day fundraising campaign to raise money for a life robbed, stolen, beaten down, raped, and tortured. Beginning the fourth Monday of January 2011. What happened is so serious. I can't believe people are still walking the streets, participating in whatever it is. I'm kind of wondering how many people can sleep at night, but we'll start from the beginning. On the fourth Monday of January 2011, I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment by a series of orchestrated events, and they were orchestrated events, and my landlord did recognize or admit to it and fess up, and so did the neighbors who lived behind me. A woman who was the daughter of a police officer who lived on South Street, the police officer who worked in a police precinct on South Street next to Whole Foods, and her husband who was, I guess, Middle Eastern. I'm not sure exactly where from, but they happened to conveniently be away the night that everything kicked off. The thing is, other people might have been orchestrated and playing a game, but I was actually clueless, had no idea what was going on or why people would want me to feel like I'd be murdered in my apartment. I was trembling and convulsing so badly that people should be in jail for life. What happened? And if that weren't enough for these death junkies and sadistic MFers, the games commenced. And a lot of people in the city and people who even wove them, like Weaver's Way, who wove themselves into my life and have since moved to the Pacific Northwest or Texas or here or there, everywhere, they played a major mind effing game, big time. I'm not sure what they thought they were doing. I don't know who they think they are. I guess they think they're above the law. But point being, I was tortured and run around this city so badly. And there's a very good argument for human trafficked through a very specific ring of dog walking clients who kept me so busy while they played mind games the whole time. Good girl, no barking. Good dog, sit, stay. Good girl, no barking. I even wound up in a major bike accident, had stitches put in my face. I had no one to take care of me. I had no one to rely on. Luckily, I had a few clients who were like, don't worry about it, don't worry. I don't know if they got off on me being in such pain, but my hands were all blown up. My face was ripped up. And I still had to walk dogs because I still had to pay my rent, and no one was helping. No one was helping. I have been alone for so long, and in the past, prided myself on being able to be independent. I wanted to be independent and not have to rely on other people. My mom really didn't have any money to rely on per se, and my dad had a second wife of many years, and you know how that can be. If you're the children left behind per se, it's a little awkward. And this other woman who was a little bit domineering or so forth and so on, they're all dead now, so it doesn't matter, except for they did run off with the will. But anyway, step-parents can really stand in the way and block even of good daughters, sons and daughters, or they can cause severe victimization. I'm wondering if they were involved on some level. Which leads me to, how did this start? Why did it start? Who's responsible? I had a million theories. In fact, we have a store called Theory here on Walnut Street. Isn't that weird? Next to a building called Icon, the Icon building at 1616 Walnut. And then we have a store over here at 1701 Walnut called Vince, period. Like Icon Vince. The thing is, I actually don't know what all this is. I actually was tortured so badly that I should be $45 million richer at this point. That's how much pain and suffering, mental anguish, death threats, whistleblower harassment, and so much more. Street theater, people acting like morons, people playing games constantly. I don't know if they kept earning points in the evil group. Do people meet up somewhere like, oh, this is too fun, we're going to do this? Meanwhile, they're so naive and dumb, they don't realize that they were set up to be exposed. And these include people who think they're all that in a bag of chips, working at one of the big accounting firms here and, law firms and everything here in Philadelphia. They come in fresh off the, boat, I guess, of school, married, have kids. They think they're bigger than they are, and really they're only like 30 years old or 32 years old. Oh, we were at the top of our class. Nobody fucking cares. So one of the theories was, and this came up today because of the Trump news, which I forgot about Trump being in this situation, but he's been waiting this sort of decision by a grand jury concerning whatever the FBI went into his home and even a couple other people, even President Biden's home, to search for documents that were removed from the White House or what have you. I kind of forget the whole thing, but will he be indicted? And they've been waiting for the past couple days. If they indict him today, it's kind of interesting because today is the kickoff of Ramadan. And in both groups, do women take a back seat? Or the other theory would be, because Trump made women so angry, did he play a role in making sure women got stronger and stood up for their rights, instead of always taking the back seat to the male who ran the show all the time? Because I can guarantee you, whoever was running the show didn't expect me to turn out like this. Somebody else must have been running the show over top of the people who thought, oh, this is too fun. This is too fun. The point is, I actually was anally raped for you, United States of America. And I expect victims' compensation and then some. And I want to know who set it up, this whole thing. And I want to know how important people feel to be in the know while I'm sitting there wondering what the fuck is going on. Meanwhile, I have people who tried to act superior to me who aren't even close. I have worked my ass off for many, many years, trying to get a leg up, trying to figure out how to go here, trying to figure out how to go there. I've had more than 68 employers in my entire life. It is possible. I have a list. You can check out my video. I've worked for 68 entities at least. I've worked in traditional jobs, corporate jobs, freelance jobs. I did include my freelance clients as separate entities paying me. I've worked at sucky jobs like Starbucks and Whole Foods. I've worked over the night at bookstores. All this for someone who shouldn't have to work that hard, who has a bachelor, actually has a master's now, but a bachelor's as of 1992, and then I felt forced to get a master's as a way to escape whatever started in 2011. So in 2013, I went on for a master's, which was conveniently available to people who could go at night and commute back and forth to New York from Philadelphia. So I know that this United States of America or this city owes me a lot of money. And I know there are people out there who do know this and recognize this. So I will continue with my one video each day, 365 days. And I know there are people out there with magical powers and they can try to feign, they can try to make it seem like, oh, I'm having a heart palpitation. I know the difference. Why? Because someone made sure I was a raw vegan foodie. Someone made sure I practiced yoga. Someone made sure I was so in tune with my body to be able to tell the difference between the fakes and the reals. So nice try, because if you try to do anything because you think you have witchy powers or you think you're high level in some CIA program or whatever, you're not going to win. You might as well give up now. Because I can tell the difference between a fake ailment or some sort of attack on the body. I know this sounds weird to people who don't know this, but you can kind of tell, like, oh, I'm fine. It's basically that. Other people would take it to the, oh, honey, you think you better go in the hospital and get an angioplasty? There's a difference. People who are in tune, even if they have to be angry because they're forced to be angry, and God and the gods and entities above recognize a good person from those who are jackasses. It is that easy. I am so in tune because of how carefully I eat. And everything I put in my mind is that I want to stay over here. I know when someone is trying to fuck with my body. And I say to you this, you can fuck off. Okay, have a great day. I will get the money. Trust me.